Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches! RuPaul's Drag Race, Season 9, Episode 9. Shout out to our wine sponsor, Wink. Try wink.com/moviebitches. You get $20 off your first month of wine. Try it out. Also, if you guys find yourself bored and have time, you can submit translations and closed captioning for our videos.
Yes.
And apparently it makes a big difference. So, if you're oh, this title should be translated as blank in Russian, please do it.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And then that way everyone else in Russia who cares about drag queens will find it, and they'll be like, oh my god, someone else who cares about drag queens in Russia. And we'll be like, yes, everyone come together.
Let's all come together with drag.
Yes. So this week was bonkers banana pants.
This week was the best episode of Drag Race this season. Don't you think?
Yes and no.
Drama-wise?
Yeah, drama. Okay. Yes and no.
Challenge-wise?
Well, okay.
Runway-wise?
Let's get into it.
It's a great episode.
First and foremost, I will say, I was very pleased to finally have a fucking challenge.
Yeah, with creativity and...
They had to do shit.
They had to do
things.
It
was a challenge.
They were sort of left out to dry. You gotta do it.
And it separated some people.
It did, in fact, do that.
Unfortunately, still, no mini challenge, no pit crew.
Well, the pit crew was there in the pilots.
Okay.
But they didn't walk in Andrew Christian underwear serving trays of drinks or things.
Come on.
So, Farrah has just gone home.
Yeah.
And everyone comes in and whines about it.
Farrah, why?
I love that even they found Farrah delightful to the end.
Absolutely.
It wasn't just us.
No.
So, same as last week, Trinity and Shay are still ha 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 ha, let's joke around with each other. I hate you.
You're my best friend. You're my best friend.
I mean, they hate each other, right? That's low-key happening under the surface.
But here's
because they're the two to beat.
Probably.
I came to a conclusion this week. I kind of want Trinity to win this whole season.
Do you?
She is the first pageant queen in I couldn't tell you how long that I'm actually rooting for. What?
Melissa Edwards.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's unusual for me to be genuinely rooting for a pageant queen. That's just my aesthetic, whatever. And I find that Trinity has it all.
I mean, she checks the boxes. She has depth of character and persona where it's oh, you're not just pretty and put on a big wig.
Yes.
You also can make jokes and get it, and you're quick, and you're funny, and you
have interesting looks that are outside of your comfort zone. This week changed a lot of things for me.
That's true.
The next day, everyone comes into the workroom, and Trinity rubs Sasha's head, and I was like, oh no, don't do it!
Right? I was like, oh no!
Sasha was like, ha ha ha, now you have lice. And I was like, or curse?
You now have lice.
So Ru comes in and she's like, it's a group challenge. And I was like, oh dear God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
well, it's a team challenge. Although I was thinking about this before this episode. I was like, what's annoying? There haven't been enough team challenges where it's just pairs, right? Where it's you gotta work with this bitch. And you might not like her, but you gotta work with her,
I mean,
right?
It does help. Well, and then they did the free-for-all of pick a team member. And I was like, oh no.
Okay. I couldn't really, rhyme. Okay, I guess we're teammates.
Why don't they pull from, Project Runway and have, a button bag, but instead of buttons, it could be, peach emojis and eggplant emojis? I'm an eggplant. It'd be so silly.
I love it.
Right?
And then it could be the tops and bottoms bag.
Sure. Yes. Love it. Are you top or bottom?
I love that idea.
Cool. Also, if you look back at all of the other team challenges, Nina and Valentina were always last to be picked.
Always.
Which I don't get.
Personally, yes.
But, whatever, because they're talented. But, So that's interesting. But then also that makes it that much more fucked that the producers weren't just like, okay, we're going to split you into teams this way.
Yeah.
Imagine how different this challenge would have been.
Well, I mean,
if it had been produced.
I literally was like, okay, if this had happened any other way, Valentina probably wouldn't have gone.
No.
Because she...
Well, it was obvious to me already that Valentina was not in a good space.
Something
She
happened.
was not herself.
No.
Something happened and they didn't give us any information, and I really want to know, because it was just like, you could tell she was kind of doom and gloom when she's normally like real bright and cheery and whatever, and it was like, what's going on here? She was defeated from the get.
We'll never know.
No.
Maybe we will.
Maybe we will at the reunion. I don't know, or Reddit. I was hoping to find out more in Untucked, and we did not.
I was like, oh great, I'll watch Untucked, and then it'll explain what... Oh, it didn't at all.
Nope.
It didn't even kind of.
Nope.
It didn't even kind of.
So they're going through the workroom, and it's like, you know, showing them practicing and preparing and thinking and brainstorming and whatever.
Shay and Sasha are just like...
gangbusters, you know, it's just like,
what do we do this?
Oh, I can do my Russian accent finally, or whatever, and you're like, okay.
It's just like they're having the best time.
Yeah.
And Trinity and Peppermint and Alexis are working.
They're figuring it out.
They're working.
They're throwing
towards
ideas
something.
out. They're talking about it.
I mean, Trinity came up with the entire idea.
My idea is, I think there should be 2 church ladies. Each of your son just came out as gay, and then a nun. I think a nun would be really funny.
I'm sorry. I thought Alexis Michelle produced it.
Anyway, then they start fighting over Peppermint and Alexis both want to do the voiceover, and Peppermint is just like, nah. Peppermint was really, I think because she won last week, she had like
found her assertiveness
this week, and I was like, I like it.
It seems like she finally now considers herself to be competition.
A contender, yes.
Exactly.
She's gonna have to pry this part from my cold, dead, manicured hand.
And then Nina and Valentina are just, I don't, not...
They're adrift.
I mean, they are adrift. They don't have an anchor. Then Valentina's like...
I feel like I have to prove that I have a talent that I might not know that I might have, but I hope I do.
First off, I feel like the producers so far this season gave them every tool, right? And everything. It was like, here's this script, here are all of these things, here's like, you just have to fill in these words, like literally fill in an adjective.
What's an adjective?
Here's the Mad Libs, yeah.
And now it was like, write a pilot, girl. Like, even if the instructions from the producers was just like, think about some of your favorite shows. Normally, the acting challenge is like, here's the script for this shitty sitcom that we gave you, get those nuts out of my face. And it's like, well, that was funny because you elevated the role that you were given.
I was really tapping into some serious acting skills there because Marge doesn't like nuts, but Latrice does.
So they go into filming, and
I was excited that, okay, so they go to filming and Michelle is the director, also Carson.
Yeah.
But Michelle is the director, and I was like, yay, I was excited, because she's usually so funny.
Yes.
And like, a good director.
Yes. She wasn't as aggressive as I felt like she needed to be.
No.
Here's my issue. It seems to me like Michelle Visage, and I think part of it is just that she's spent so much time on the road with these queens now, she's treating all of these queens on a regular season like they're on All-Stars. And I'm like, no, you can't expect that much from them.
Yeah.
They haven't gone through this, like, you know, circus yet.
Yeah.
You have to, like, help them.
What's your next scene, girls?
Peppermint, Alexis, and Trinity.
That was pretty great.
Thank you.
All right.
Did y'all get the tea on Kunt?
So I came to another realization this week. I have had it with Alexis.
I was just gonna say, was your revelation that you have had it officially? Because that was mine.
Yep. I was like, oh, I'm there. I am there, and she can leave anytime.
Any fucking time. I'm sorry. I was here for her, and I'm
was here for her
done.
for a while.
I'm done.
Her shenanigans aren't fun anymore.
No, it's not a cute look.
Trinity, again, is everything.
Children! Father Ross, his breath always smells like dick too.
And then there was that whole exchange where Michelle was like, "Can we say dick on TV?"
Oh my
and
God!
I was like, "Of course, the Dick Van Dyke Show." I was like, "Ha ha!" And then Alexis has to be like,
The Dick Van Dyke Show?
He said Dick and Dyke.
Wow.
I'm just saying, I made that joke in middle school, and I was like, wasn't that great then? I got the sense that Michelle was fucking over Alexis.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, she was like, "Oh, I'm not helping you out at
all.
all because I am done
Well,
with you."
Michelle and Alexis are the types of people that are never going to get along, it seems like to me. You know, and like Alexis is always going to push Michelle's button.
You don't have to go too hillbilly.
Yeah.
Little more Julia Sugarbaker.
So then next up is Sasha and Shay.
Ooh, they came prepared.
I mean, they were fully prepared. They come out, they start to do the voiceover, and Sasha's kind of doing it. And I will say this, Carson does a great Russ Leatherman, the movie phone voice guy.
Do you know the name of the movie you'd like to see? Press 1 now.
I mean, I could listen to Shay say, "Bitch, where are the espadrilles?" for hours.
Where are the espadrilles? Bitch, I'm talking to you. I said, where are the espadrilles?
Oh, for fuck's sake, Nina and Valentina's.
So here's where I'm actually angry. I wish that Michelle Visage had a...
She was being so, I don't want to say nice to them, but she was so letting them off the hook.
She was letting them off the hook, but also she wasn't helping them in any way.
Do you think maybe a script would have helped?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we better keep moving.
Yeah, let's go.
I wanted her to just have like a full Michael Weasley moment and be like, "Look, girls,
We can't film this.
I'm not going to film. This is a waste of our time. So you take 2 minutes,
Yeah.
figure out what the fuck you're doing,
Yeah.
and come back, because this is not okay."
She let them hang themselves.
Yeah. And that was disappointing for me. The whole thing is you're supposed to give them a chance to fix it and then let them hang themselves. And if she fucks it up again after you've told them how to make it better, then fine, fuck you. Right?
I was shocked that they had so little prepared.
So
I mean,
their answer to everything was, "Well, we'll just improv it."
yeah.
When they're like, RuPaul's Drag Race. It was like that thing where it was like, "Oh, you start singing and I'll finish." Like, it was like,
Garth and Kat.
"We are singing and it's the song about singing." Like,
RuPaul's Drag Race.
it's like, this is not a plan, you guys.
I did love too that they kept calling their own show the wrong thing. They kept being like, "Next up on Nina and Valentina." Oh God, it's Tina.
Nina and Valentina moved to Hollywood.
Is it Valentina or Tina?
Tina. Soon after, Nina and Valentina.
Nina at the end, when they're supposed to be like winning Drag Race, looked absolutely gorgeous. She was giving me some like Wesley Snipes and Tu Wong Fu. She looked beautiful. Like, I've never seen her look so just pretty. Like, she just looked straight up fishy. And I was shocked no one said anything.
Because there's a different look for her.
It was a totally different look for her. And I was genuinely like, no one's gonna be like, "You look gorgeous, girl. We're glad you're like showing
As a
that
versatility.
you can be just pretty." The only joke in the whole thing, I think, was now we have to do a death drop.
Oh, I thought a death drop means you really die.
I mean, that was the only like joke that was written down.
And it was so bad.
It was terrible. We're back at the workroom this week at the Tragedy Mirror. It wasn't really a tragedy. They just sort of gave us a quick tutorial on Club Kids because I think they thought people didn't know what that meant.
It wasn't particularly interesting. It also was like weird name droppy.
It was an underground party culture that really pushed the boundaries of queer aesthetics. Lee Bowery.
James St. James, Amanda Lepore,
and Suzanne Barge.
So, quick commercial break. If there's not, then please support our patreon.com/moviebitches.
Or if there is.
Yeah, even if there is, you can still support us. We really appreciate it.
Seriously.
Some people like have been keep giving, and it's great. Last week we released our episode like a full 12 hours early because by miraculous like divine intervention we were able to finish early.
Yes.
Not gonna promise that every time, but
if we do get it done early,
it does ever happen, we will post it early for our $5 and above patrons.
Yes.
So that's like an exciting thing. And just thanks for being awesome, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ru comes down the runway in a Ru Animal.
By Coco. Wow.
I mean, it
Oh,
was
yes. This
fabulous.
leopard, like...
It was a cheetah. It was like a big, graphic, asymmetrical one.
Could have been like a snow leopard, whatever.
It's a big cat.
Yes. A big cat. A big cat.
Just big across her chest. I really
But like
liked
the
this.
eyes were like on the tits, the
Yeah,
nips.
I mean, of course.
Duh.
I really liked this.
I did too. I
It was
liked
like,
it.
It was like fun and interesting and kind of cheeky.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah,
Yes.
I like it.
Yes. Panther on the runway.
Panther on the runway.
Do it, do it. Oh, all the boys say. So yeah, that was good. Oh, so then the guest judges were some QVC lady. I literally have no idea who she was.
Lisa Robertson.
That sounds kind of familiar. I literally have no idea.
And
the guy from Real O'Neill's, Noah Galvin. Yeah. So Noah is the guy who wrote that, who had that fabulous, crazy interview about how Bryan Singer allegedly diddles little gay boys in the dark of fucking night.
I couldn't tell if he was really nervous
Yeah.
or what.
I'm very, very excited to be here.
I don't believe you.
No?
Give her another take.
Give him another
take.
No, I'm so excited. I really am quite excited to be here.
I think
Give
he
him
was
another
just so
take.
nervous.
I think he was really nervous,
I
which is
don't-
understandable.
Because I don't think, I mean, he's an actor who I don't think is known or done anything other major than Real O'Neill's,
yes.
which sadly was canceled.
It was canceled?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. Which is a bummer because I really actually liked it. I was enjoying it and I thought it was cute and he was actually really good in it. The cast was all really good.
It was Martha Plimpton.
I mean, hello. I like they had the season finale.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, didn't get picked up. That's it. Which I hate more than anything.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. I think what was the most egregious of all time for me.
Yes.
I still am not over it. Brothers and Sisters. I'm pretty sure they ended on a mid-season finale.
Mine is Caroline in the City.
Oh.
It literally ends like The Graduate, and then it's like, I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, are we going to run away together? We'll find out next season, except it never happened, and you're like, fuck you, show! It's the worst.
Oh, that's the worst.
It's really terrible.
I just hate that. It's like, come on, just do it. Just finish the storyline. How much could it cost?
Probably a lot.
Probably a lot.
So, this week, the category is Club Kid Couture.
Yes.
Which I was here for. I was very excited.
And no one disappointed. No one was like, oh God, no.
No one disappointed, but I feel like it could have gone so crazy.
Where's Ornacia?
Where's Ornacia? I mean, we know now why Eureka had that Lee Bowery hat when she left.
Yes.
I just think about, like, you haven't seen Party Monster, the movie about the club kids with Seth Green and Macaulay Culkin. It's not a very good movie, but the, like, costumes and the set design and everything of it are, like, insane. And when you look at them, you're like, this is so crazy. And this was, like, I guess because they gave it the couture, they had to make it kind of more tailored. I don't know. I just feel like you could have gone anywhere, and a lot of
They
them...
kept it a little safe.
Just a little bit, but it was very good. So first down the runway, Sasha Velour.
Yeah.
I like this a lot. I thought it was the most Club Kid
Kid-y.
Couture.
Sure.
Like it was the most, it rode the line of fashion the best. Her face was painted like a Picasso clown.
I loved like the
drool and she had, like,
melting
the one weird eyebrow.
Yeah.
There was a season when Christian Dior did like clown couture, and this was like that basically. And she had like one top eyelash and one bottom eyelash. Like there was a lot. She put a lot of thought into it.
Yes.
Obviously, it's Sasha. She's going to, but like there was a thought process. I am really liking Sasha, but she's gonna have to break away from Shea if she's gonna win.
Correct.
So then next on the runway was Shea Coulee. Now this was great, but it was very much just sort of like a Lee Bowery look. Like it was literally a Lee Bowery look, like literally. So while that's really cool, it was more like I took this thing that already existed and did it kind of me. So while it was very cool, I loved the cape. The cape was my favorite part. It wasn't do your favorite club kid.
Right, it was like innovate.
And she had her like Rocky Horror lips
Yep.
on her bathing suit.
So then next up, Nina Bonina, Banana Fafana,
Paige Brooks. Nicole Paige Brooks. This was a thing that I loved and then I didn't like, and then the longer I stared at it, I loved again.
Okay.
In parts.
This to me did not say club kid.
It did to me because it was It was the most shocking.
I guess that's true.
It was the most shocking thing on the runway.
I guess that's
where
true.
I was like, what the fuck is this? The middle was absolutely unfinished. Like it looked like an afterthought.
But she wanted to do. I get
where she was going.
She just didn't have time, and I get
she
that.
She literally didn't even paint the
This
back of
isn't
her
Face
head.
Off, you know. It was like they give the queens barely enough time to do regular drag makeup,
Right.
and Nina is here doing fucking prosthetic cheekbones and painting the fuck out of her face.
I mean, I would love to see what she could have done.
Right? Give her 8 hours, and we'll see what the fuck she's turned herself into.
I mean, it would have been so.
What alien creature is this?
Yes, yes.
I'm here for it.
But it was definitely like, you know, Barney went on a hunger strike or something. It was just like, you know, real good. It was real good. With the mohawk, like the...
Was it a raven?
Yeah, she said a bird. I mean, there was things about this that I was like, yes, of course, I love this. And then it was like, oh, it's... Like, she had her knee-highs had, like, little pink fringe down the side. And I was like, yes, I love that.
With the pink
I love
tutu.
it, I love it. But then, like, I was like, what happened?
Sure.
And she didn't even paint, like, a breast illusion. It was
Fair.
literally just, this is my boy chest with, like, you know, some ribs and stuff like that. So,
I'm trying to think. Well, it was funny because it was so... She did her...
Well, she did her like, patting her tits.
Yes.
No tits, which made me laugh.
Oh.
I wish she could have found a way to, like, realize she didn't have enough time to do what she wanted and regrouped to do something.
I also would have loved to have seen that thought process.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where she's just sitting in the workroom, be like, "Fuck you guys! There's only 30 minutes left, and I haven't even painted my chest yet. What do I do? Or whatever." You're like, "That's
I would have loved to
that's
see
a
that
great
footage.
dramatic scene where you're like, no, not Nina. What's gonna happen? 'Cause she was already in the bottom because of that terrible pilot."
She had that like mohawk.
Yeah, like the fins almost.
Do you remember that the show Dinosaurs?
Yes.
Like with the son had like the dinosaur mohawk.
Vaguely. I would watch that show and play Sim Tower.
Oh boy. I just remember watching it and being like, this show is like Roseanne with dinosaurs.
Sure.
Because for some reason I was watching
Roseanne and dinosaurs.
And dinosaurs as a small child. Which I just saw an ad. They're bringing Roseanne back.
Oh my god. Can we talk about this briefly? Sidebar. I'm sorry, you guys.
I mean, all I have to say is why? What?
Well, can we just... Netflix has started something that needs to stop.
Just because it was great doesn't mean you have to reboot it.
No! They're bringing back Dark Crystal.
Oh god, why? The Jim Henson movie?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Oh god.
Why are they bringing them back?
God. Are they going to use puppets? What's going on? Oh, I don't want to know.
It's just like, oh, remember that thing that was popular in the early 90s? Let's remake it now. And I'm like, no, we don't need Fuller House. No, we don't need fucking, like, all of these things that they're bringing back. And I'm like, no, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Fuller House genuinely makes me very depressed. At first, you're like, this is completely harmless. I'm going to let it wash over me. And then slowly but surely, the saccharinity, it's a word.
Yeah, that's a super adjective.
But, like, don't ruin something that was, like, a huge
I know. I
part.
don't know if I'm going to watch the new Twin Peaks. I'm going to wait.
Like, that's another one.
I'm going to, like, hold back and see what people say and then maybe watch it because I can't do it.
Why is Will and Grace coming back with
boy.
the same jokes? They went through that whole trailer.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, you didn't watch it? It starts and it's Will and Grace leaving NBC.
Wait, what?
And Deborah Messing is like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do the show again. You know, like, I think, like, whatever. Like, but they're, like, playing the characters of Will and Grace. As if, like, Will and Grace were on a show. Like, that they knew about.
What?
And then Eric's like, come on, just do it. And he's like, I'm going to show you something. And she's like, I've already seen, like, whatever, like some bad cheesy joke.
I know, you fit into my jeans now, you already showed me.
Not that. This is something else, and he pushes a button on the elevator, literally called something else.
Oh,
and then they go to the set of Will and Grace.
Yeah.
So then they start going through, and then Karen, not Megan Mullally, Karen Walker, is asleep on the sofa in their apartment for no unknown reasons. And she wakes up and starts interacting with them.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, it's almost like it used to be or something. Something's missing or whatever. And then of course Jack comes in.
Does he come out of a box?
No, he comes through the door with a Latino lover who is like, oh, you can rent this, you can sublet this place. And it's like, he's subletting this set on Emmy. I'm confused because you guys have merged two different worlds and scenarios into this one promo. None of this makes sense. Why are we breaking the fourth wall here? What is happening?
This sounds awful.
So then
I'm glad I didn't watch
they
it.
go into a musical number where they walk off of set up a set of stairs and start doing this whole thing, but they have all the camera crew and it's like, oh, here we are doing this zoomed out wide shot number of them dancing and singing. And then it closes the number, and Will/Eric, I'm not sure who it was, goes,
ooh, that was gay.
And I'm just like, you guys, it's 2017. You can't make the same 1999 jokes that you were making. Yeah. Anyway, so Drag Race.
Anyway.
Next up.
Oh boy.
Valentina. Given some Matador.
Mortal Kombat Matador. It was where's Sub-Zero and Scorpion? Are they gonna come? I did agree with Michelle that it felt way more high fashion than Club Kid.
She went more couture and less Club Kid.
Yeah, there wasn't anything shocking about it, really.
A mask?
Yeah.
She looked good.
She looked gorgeous.
But did it slay the challenge? Not necessarily.
No, and she needed to.
Yeah.
Next on the runway, Trinity Taylor.
Yeah.
In, I think, my favorite look of the night.
Wow.
It was great.
It was good. This reminded me of some Detox, something Detox would wear.
Yes. She has Milk's Pinocchio wig on. She looks like she's wearing one of those anatomy skin suits, you know what I mean? But for an alien.
Sure. Yeah.
Remember that horrifying digestion song?
When you were a baby, your body was smaller. Now you've grown bigger
and very much taller.
Sing along!
Food is the fuel that'll keep us alive. Food is the fuel that'll give us a drive.
Educating you about how your digestion, and he looks like he's got a fro and
literally no idea what you're talking about.
He looks like some combination of Bronson Pinchot and Marklyn Baker. He looks like the Perfect Strangers. Have you seen Perfect Strangers? You haven't seen Perfect Strangers? He looks like that. But anyway.
Is he famous, this person?
On YouTube.
Okay.
He was some, Yanni, I'm gonna sing about digestion. So anyway, that's what it felt like. It felt like an alien's anatomy skin suit.
Sure, yeah.
And I loved it. I mean, it helps that she is a pageant queen and she's doing this. She's doing something out of her comfort zone, but I did realize I only, love Trinity's runway looks when she's doing something out of her comfort zone.
Yeah.
I was oh, loved her Gaga look. Oh, loved her Madonna look. Oh, loved her Club Kid look.
When there's a reference to go off of.
She's fabulous.
Because otherwise she gets all crapped up.
Real crapped up and tacky.
I'm still not sure about her taste level.
When she has parameters.
Sure.
It's great. So, Peppermint comes down the runway in some Candy Striper LSD trip.
I mean, it was like you...
It was like Candyland.
It was like you took shrooms and decided to play Candyland.
Yeah, basically. Oh, and I'm the Lollipop Princess! Princess Peppermint! And you're like...
But I kind of love that.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
It definitely had some Lee Bowery influences going on. I liked that it was Peppermint. It was cute.
It was playful. So then last down the runway, Alexis Michelle...
Yeah.
In a confused look.
She looked like Pepe Le Pew Couture or something.
Once again, she's decided to paint her whole body except for only part of her body.
Yeah, why was make just her face white?
It was like, oh, it's gonna be my face and neck, and then my top, like my clavicle. It was supposed to be like, it was like gradiented into her skin.
Oh, wow.
But it was just like pointed rays of white.
I didn't notice. For some reason, I was distracted by the like,
everything else.
By the nipples where there were no boobs. Yeah. I didn't care for
she
the top
needs to
half
figure out tits.
Because her ass was on point. The bottom half looked great. There was a lot of ideas here. I didn't hate it.
No.
It was just like, what's going on?
I actually liked her makeup.
Her makeup looked really cool. Although, in Untucked, I realized I really did not care for the like weird paper mache glittered eyebrows that she like glued on her face. From afar, it was like, oh, black stripe. Like,
it was just like, ooh.
Daryl Hannah and Blade Runner, and you'd be like, yes. Yeah. And then up close, it was like, oh, what is this like cartoon, you know, like cut out eyebrow that you glued to your head? What's that? So then they show the actual pilots.
Yeah.
And Shay and, I almost said Shay and Kool-Aid.
I almost said that too.
Shay and Sasha have Teetsk and Aski. It's basically Cagney, Lacey, Starsky and Hutch,
yeah.
You know, except they're cracking down on bad fashion.
Why are you using all these shoulder pads?
How else can I make myself look like strong woman?
Vote, bitch.
Right, which was silly.
This was really funny. It was a little bit more clever than ha 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 for me. Like it didn't.
Sure.
It wasn't like Alaska's like red for filth. Like where
right,
you're
where
like,
you're just like,
just like I'm dying. This is so funny.
Sure.
Like
There will be twists, turns, and cliffhangers.
Please don't jump. You have so much to live for.
I love the cliffhangers joke. I thought
that
was hilarious.
so silly. Yes. No, but I really liked this. I thought it was funny.
Really funny.
It was clear that they were the winners because it was like the only good one, and it was the only one that I would actually be interested in watching an actual pilot of.
I feel like I would tune in to Nina and Tina because it seems like such a disaster. Like I would be like, I don't know what this is, but I feel like I should watch it just in case.
It was so entertaining.
It was like watching a car accident.
Yeah, it was a house on fire, and you're like, oh, I gotta watch.
I gotta tune in. One of my biggest problems with it is that I genuinely it didn't make sense.
No.
And maybe you can explain it to me. Like
The premise was that they were two
hookers.
streetwalkers. They're hookers.
Who get arrested.
Yep.
Then they're in jail.
Yep.
See an ad
Somehow
for
they see an ad for RuPaul's Drag Race, and they decide that they should.
Because they're women. Because they're such beautiful women that they're gonna pretend to be drag queens. Is that what the premise was?
Not clear.
And then they'll win, but they don't know how to do drag, because they do the silly, we're bad at drag. It's left with a lot of questions.
A lot of questions. Not clear.
Yeah.
What could have been funnier would have been if they meet in prison and become friends over their like love of
Drag Race.
Yes. And then they decide that their way out, or like their way to succeed after they get out of jail, is that they are gonna be drag queens and get onto RuPaul's Drag Race. And their whole time, instead of like, you know, those silly training montages and like jail sequences, where it's like, oh, and now I'm gonna come out of jail and I'm like gonna have an 8-pack.
It's like Ashley Judd in Double Indemnity, or no, in Double Jeopardy. She's like, I'm gonna get fucking rock hard abs and go murder my husband. God, Double Jeopardy's great. I should rewatch that.
So is Double Indemnity.
So is Double Indemnity. Both fabulous movies in different ways.
Very different. But no, like, that would have been really funny, where it's like their whole thing is like, oh, they're not training, you know, it's not Rocky training to like beat the fight, or like someone training to get out of jail. They're training to be drag queens.
That would have been great.
I'm here for that.
Yeah.
They just didn't have a clarity concept, and that's what you fucking need for this. I mean, they weren't prepared, they didn't have a clear concept, and there were very few funny moments.
Are you okay?
Oh, I thought a death drop means you really die.
Also, wouldn't it have been funny if they were convicts in prison, and instead of them doing a death drop, they like have one of the pit crew or whatever do a death drop and kill them?
Yes.
And she goes, well, isn't that the point? Isn't a death drop that they die at the end?
Right, like she murders
them. Like she literally murders someone in prison.
That's the point, right? Oops.
Right, her toothbrush is like the shank.
That would have been
I thought it was a death drop. I didn't know.
Girl, now we're not going to get our parole hearings. But I'm here for this idea.
Fixed it.
Nailed it.
I fixed the pilot.
So then the last pilot, Mary, Mother of Gay.
Sure.
Well,
because she's Mary, mother of a gay boy.
Well, also Mary, Mother of God is like a
right
thing people say.
Yeah.
If you're over the age of 80.
Right?
Frankly, the clever wordplay in the writing, I do think came from me.
The only reason I know it is because the end of the Goonies, the police officer says, "Holy Mary, Mother of God."
Holy Mary, Mother of God.
This was...
P.S. I'm pretty sure that the Goonies came on either before or after this episode.
It came on right after. Was that on purpose? Oh my God. Did that just happen?
No.
Did they mean to do that?
No.
Holy Mary, Mother of God.
So Mary, Mother of Gay.
Yeah.
I
didn't think this was funny.
It's like it understood what it was doing,
Yes.
but wasn't funny about
No.
it.
It was
If that makes
coherent.
sense. It was coherent, yes. But the concept is good. The initial concept that Trinity gave them. Of like,
Okay.
We're two conservative mothers and both of our sons. I guess with sons together, I feel like that would have been a better plot through line to be like, and our sons are getting married.
That was the plot.
Is that what was going on?
There was a literal cake with two white gay boys together, even though it was a
One
black
was
and white.
black. Oh.
And I was like, oh, that's weird.
Wow, I watched it like 3 times. Apparently I missed it. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Was the nun character, Trinity, trying to make the moms more gay?
I guess.
Because what was going on? She was like, kneel down, deep throat this baguette, and I didn't understand.
It didn't work for me, and I didn't really like it.
Okay.
It wasn't as bad and incoherent as Nina and Tina, but it wasn't good.
But if I'm like, of the...
I'd rather watch Nina and Tina.
I'd rather watch Nina and Tina. For the wrong reasons.
Or the right ones. I mean, the right and wrong reasons.
Yes. So then, in the judging, Alexis panics.
Well, okay, I will say this.
Yeah.
In her defense, I understand where she was coming from. Where it was like...
She was trying to save herself.
She was trying to save herself.
But in trying to save herself, for me it was so clear that Nina and Valentina were going to be in the bottom. There was like no question in my mind, right?
Right.
So for me, I was like, girl, shut up, what are you doing, what are you doing?
In focusing on administration, my performance was not the same size.
Well, and just to say that like, oh, I thought that the clever wordplay and all of that was my idea and all this stuff, and it was just like...
Oh, you mean just calling her Sister Kunt? That's not clever wordplay.
When Trinity was just like, no, I already have that. No, I have a username with that. I've already used it. You did not come up with that. Shut it down.
Loved that.
Kunt was my idea.
Girl, absolutely not.
I actually have an online character that I've done for YouTube that's called Miss Ginger Kunt.
Trinity, shut it down. Peppermint is like, girl.
I have to speak up right now.
We came up with these ideas together, bitch.
It sounds like Alexis was the producer of our pilot. That is not the case.
Sasha and Shay combine win again.
Again.
First it was the hamburgers, now it's the hair product.
Oh my God.
Hair care products provided by Aquage. And the hair doesn't have to be on your head.
Good.
So, Nina and Valentina are in the bottom, and they lip sync to Greedy by Ariana Grande. Or, well, one of them lip syncs to Greedy by Ariana Grande.
I was so disappointed.
This was a roller coaster ride. Well, so it started.
Oh my God. So it starts, and I was just like, oh, fuck, she has that mask. And then I was like, oh, so she's gonna like dramatically tear it off and just be like, blah, blah, blah. And you're like,
She's gonna do a real sexy, like,
right, sure.
reveal,
Yes.
right? And so
I'm waiting.
I'm doing the same thing. I'm going, she's not gonna leave that fucking mask on, right? She's not gonna leave that bejeweled surgeon's mask on. No, she is. And then all the judges start being like, she's gonna leave that fucking mask on? What's going on? Wait, what's happening? Everybody in Ru's like, I don't know, girl, what? And Nina, meanwhile, is
Just
slaying. Just like, hey girl, I'm slaying. What's going on? And I was like, yes, Nina.
And then it goes on so long that Ru's like,
enough.
I was waiting for her to just be like, Valentina, you're gone.
I genuinely thought she'd be like, Valentina, you're going home. But then I was like, that's not fair, because I want to.
Yes, it is.
Because I want to see Nina finish this lip sync.
Well, fair.
Is what I was gonna say. Be like,
Valentina,
you're leaving.
Nina, keep going.
Finish this lip sync. Valentina, you're going home. Alexis, get your ass down here.
I would have died.
You know that I'm doing it for you.
This is lip sync for your life. We need to see your lips. Take that thing off of your mouth.
I'd like to keep it on, please.
I mean, this was
a great moment in RuPaul's Drag Race history.
I was like, what is happening? This is insane. This is absolutely crazy. I thought maybe she like didn't paint her lips or something.
Well, no, so she clearly didn't finish her makeup. I mean, like, it was not
But then as Shay would say, she goes, oh, she didn't know the word. It was an absolute disaster.
It was a disaster.
Yeah.
She was like, I wanted to disappear and like whatever. And I'm like, I get it. You were in a very dark place and it showed. I am just so disappointed in this season that now 2 out of the 8 lip syncs, the queens have literally just like not participated. When Ru goes,
it's a lip sync. What part of that do you not understand?
Shady Ru is over it. I was like, oh girl, Valentina. But I think she was pissed, as she should have been. I mean, that was totally warranted. But then Valentina, I was just like, oh well, fuck. She knows she's done.
Yeah.
She knows there's no coming back from this.
I mean, this is the biggest deal, but I do want to talk about how fabulous Nina is.
In the lip sync, yeah.
I do want to talk about it.
I mean, she was great.
There was something so delightful listening to this silly ass pop song with Nina
As
in
like
this
the
like
Skeletor, like
skeleton dinosaur pink makeup, just like duck walking and tapping her non-existent titties, and just like the lip sync was on.
I was sad, and then I was angry, and then I was just like disappointed in what could have been and what isn't, because it ended this way.
Well, like Ru said, she was like, really, Valentina, I really thought you had the stuff to make it to the end. And it was like, we all did.
Yeah,
we all
did. And then she just fell off a fucking cliff.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Learn something from this.
We were all rooting for you. It came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
For all of a sudden, this episode, Valentina
was like a different person.
Like a completely, wholly different person. I was just like, who are you? And what did you do with Valentina? It was so bizarre. Like the entire episode, it was like no confidence, no anything. It was like, what the fuck happened to you? I want to know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. And they didn't give us anything.
No.
Untucked was
no
just
clues.
The most boring,
so boring,
shitty mystery of all time.
So Valentina goes home. Wow.
Yeah.
So Untucked, Sasha and Shay go back.
Yeah.
It was sort of like boring and labored.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We were nervous.
We were.
It didn't help that Shay was like having to like.
Oh, I know.
You could tell how much they were editing the conversation between them, because it was like now it's up,
down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
Now it's up.
Yeah, I was like, wait, but she put it back down. Oh, but now it's just up again. Was this from a different? I mean, it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Girl. Yes, like, you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Cheers.
Listening to Shay try and talk through her mask was mildly entertaining.
It was more frustrating.
I used to battle the same exact demons that Nina is battling right now.
At a certain point, she's having like a real like a serious conversation about insecurity and like being more mature, and how she sees a lot of herself in Nina and all this stuff, and it's all happening through this mask. I was like, this is silly. But then I also noticed in Untucked, which made me love her even more, Trinity's nails were literally like orange duct tape.
Yes, they were like.
It was so good.
Yes.
I loved it.
I didn't talk about this, and I meant to. Valentina's nails looked like crab legs.
So Trinity is keeping it real, and she's like...
The fairest thing to happen is you two are lip syncing and one of you is going home because
that's how it should
looking at the pilot, it wasn't good.
It was annoying though because they were like, yeah, we were terrible.
But then
and then they were like,
we're very visual, and we have a natural charm, but we're not like smart little writers, you know?
And then, I don't know if this is the way it was edited, clearly not based on the lip sync, it made it seem like they didn't start listening to the song until 5 minutes before they got
they're like,
home.
5 minutes, ladies, and
They're like,
Valentina still hadn't been listening, and then they're like, Nina's like, here, I'll share my iPod with you,
But
girl.
even then, Valentina was just like...
out of it. She was like catatonic.
Like, not participating.
I really want to know what happened. It was disappointing, and it was just like, you're better than this. I expected more. I wanted more. Like, I was hoping for a show. You know, I was like, fuck, one of these queens that I really like and who's really talented and really can go far in this competition is gonna go home. This better be the best motherfucking lip sync we've seen in all 9 episodes. And it was not.
And then she gets eliminated and she's walking off the stage.
Oh, she starts sobbing into the curtain.
She just walks right into the curtain and just starts crying. And the PA behind her was like, oh, I guess, oh God, now I'm in the shot. And then she is packing up. I mean, did you notice how fucking organized she was?
Oh.
Every wig had paper around it.
Oh, yes.
Every costume had a sealed bag. It was like,
well, she had,
and she packed more than everyone combined also.
And this was what I was wondering though.
Because she's from LA. She didn't have to fly.
But is that, like, that seems like an unfair advantage then. Like, shouldn't it be like, oh, you are allowed 3 50-pound suitcases, period.
I don't know.
Or whatever,
I don't know.
Right? Maybe they were just like, you can have 2 suitcases. She's like, oh, I can have 2 suitcases? I'm going to vacuum seal all of these bags and shove it into this one suitcase with 18 outfits per, you know.
I mean, it did seem like she had more than anyone.
So much more.
She carried her Diana Ross wig out because it wouldn't fit. That was great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And she wore her little beret, so you got a little bit of a hat.
She wore a hat out. There was a lot of voiceover towards the end of her not really making sense, but sort of just saying what it seemed like she was saying what she thought she should be saying.
Yeah.
She hadn't processed it or she hadn't really let her guard down.
I love who I am and I love what I do. And I'm ready to become the superstar I always wanted to be. Yeah.
And I wanted like a real moment from her. Yeah. And the only one was when she stuck her curtain in that, stuck her curtain in that face. She stuck her curtain right in that face. She stuck her face right in the curtain and we didn't even, that was just like, oh, she's very emotional. But I didn't, like, the like, sort of facade never dropped. Even after all of this stuff. And I was like, oh.
You're gonna be okay.
So then the sweetest part of this whole Untucked was that Valentina is packing up and she looking at her notes. And well, we did find out that Nina did not leave Farrah a note. But Nina can't be fake. That is what I like about Nina.
Sure.
She does not fake.
And apparently they're not friends. Whatever. Cool. Why am I going to write you a note if we're not friends?
She gives Valentina a really sweet note and she reads the whole thing and it was very cute. I thought they really connected.
It seemed like they really did.
Sorry that us being on teams together ended us in the bottom, but I have no regret. Love, Nina.
I'm glad that they like found each other and seemed to be really kindred spirits.
I mean, yes, and I love the idea of them together. Like I said, I feel like they could really have done or can do great things as like a team.
Yeah.
This was just not that moment.
Not at all. Crazy episode.
It was a crazy episode. It was dramatic. It was a little bummer.
I mean, it's going to be iconic.
Oh, yes.
They will show the clip of what part of the lip sync don't you understand forever.
Yeah.
So, see you next Thursday.
Subscribe, share, all of that stuff. It's going to be exciting.
Oh,
There's
yes.
still a lot more Drag Race left, and we are excited.
We're here for it.
Oh my god, Makeover Challenge, Avryl's favorite, not favorite episode.
We'll see. We'll see.
Will we see?
Because sometimes what you see isn't always what you get, though.